For this part of the lab, you will need the 6 copper solutions that you prepared in the previous part. You will also need 1 molar zinc chloride solution, an empty 100 milliliter beaker. You will need a piece of copper metal and a piece of zinc metal. As an option, if either of these metals do not look clean, you can use a piece of steel wool to scrub any discoloration off of the metal. We will also need a freshly prepared salt bridge, a piece of cotton ball, and a voltmeter, or in this case we have a multimeter, together with a red wire and a black wire that are able to connect to the voltmeter. So to start, you also need a ring stand and a clamp. Okay, so I am going to start by placing about 50 milliliters of the zinc chloride solution into my beaker. Okay, I'll set the zinc solution to the side. We don't need that anymore. Next, I am going to take the piece of cotton. I'm going to break it into half, and I'm going to stick each half into the end of the salt bridge. The clamp and the ring stand is meant to hold this salt bridge. I'll clamp it in place now. So 1/2 of the salt bridge is going to be placed in the zinc solution. The other half will be in the copper solution when we're ready for that. So I have the zinc solution there. I'm going to lower the salt bridge down into the solution. I am also going to put the piece of zinc metal just loosely into the beaker containing the zinc solution. Now we're going to be measuring the potential difference between the zinc solution and each of our copper solutions. We should start with the most dilute copper solution and work our way up from there. So let me again raise the salt bridge. I should have had my first copper solution in place. Now I can lower it again. And I will put my piece of copper metal into the copper solution. To measure the potential, we will need to turn on the voltmeter. I'm going to turn it on the setting here that says 2 volts in the green part. And then to connect the wires, this plug is designed to go into this voltmeter. If you see, the other end of this wire contains what's called an alligator clip that we're going to be clipping onto the metal. So this part I will connect. This goes into this, you can see it's color coded, that's also black. The one labeled COM is where that black wire will go. And then the red wire will be placed to the right of that here. I'm going to clip the black wire onto the piece of zinc metal. And I'm going to clip the red wire onto the piece of copper metal. And after doing that, the number on the display has changed. It is now at a value of 1.06. This is a number that you should write down and record. So I have here just in a notebook, paper, I have all of the concentration values listed. So this first potential correlates with the lowest concentration. So I'm going to write the 1.06 value into this part of the table. And the units on that are volts. The concentration units, again, were molarity. So now I'm going to switch to the next most concentrated solution. To do that, I will remove this piece of copper. I will raise the salt bridge. And I will get my next most concentrated solution ready. I will lower the salt bridge and place this piece of copper metal in. Now, since this solution is more concentrated, I would recommend swirling this a bit just to wash off any of the more dilute solution. It might have been best to dry this with a paper towel in between to have an even more precise measurement, but this should be good enough. Okay, I have swirled that enough, and now I'm going to look at the potential voltage value. It is at a value of 1.068. Or maybe hang on, the number changed. Let me swirl that a bit more. Okay, it seems steady now at 1.067. So I will write that down here. So continue on with the rest of the solutions, going in order from the least concentrated to the most concentrated, each time removing the piece of copper and raising the salt bridge, bringing in the new solution, lowering the salt bridge, and if to be more precise, I would perhaps recommend getting a paper towel to dry the piece of copper before you put it in the next solution, and definitely perhaps even swirl it around a bit just to be sure that you are taking a reading of the correct solution concentration. Okay, so yes, continue filling up this table until you have finished with the most concentrated solution.